All right, I think I'm officially live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. I'm going to give people a quick second to hop on, and then we'll go ahead and get on into it. I'm making this a very chill live, so come sit with me, grab a drinky drink. And we'll get started in our Q&A in just a second. Let me make sure I are able to see. I hope this is streaming. Okay, I see some people coming in. What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. I am hopping in to just do a live Q&A. There have been a few questions that have come up lately. Hey, Cleo. And I wanted to answer them. So if you guys have any questions about your fitness journey, about weight loss, what's up, Aisha, the baddest? Yeah, any questions about that, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'm going to hang on for a bit and answer some questions with y'all. Drink a little drink. I'm having me a little Poppy's prebiotic soda. And we're just going to chat for today. So sip and chat. I did get a couple of questions ahead of time, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those up. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them below. All right. Let me go ahead and pull them up, and we are going to dive right in. Dive right in. Okay. So first question I got is, do I believe in the 80-20 rule applies to diet and exercise success? So for example, eat healthy 80% of the time and only indulge 20% of the time. Thank you, Clea. I appreciate it. My little specs. Okay, so the question is, do I believe in the 80-20 rule, and if that applies to both fitness and your nutrition? And I absolutely do believe that. I think that there's obviously nuance to that, right? So what exactly does 80% mean? What does that look like practically on the day-to-day? That's really important to figure out and know for yourself. But absolutely, I don't think that if you're on a weight loss journey, or if you are, trying to build healthy habits, that you have to be extreme. In fact, I think that's a really great recipe for you to fall off track and not see results long term, or at the very least, to not be able to maintain results long term. So it is really important for you to be able to live your life on top of losing weight and trying to get healthy. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by implementing the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, you are focused more so on your goals. And I think it's easier to have an 80-20% approach when you know what you're doing 80% of the time, right? And like have an actual strategy for that. Because a lot of people will just say, they'll just kind of wing it, right? Okay, I'll just eat healthy. What does that mean? I'll work out. Do you have a plan that you're following for your workouts? Do you have structure with your workouts? Do you know how to progress your workouts? Like all of those are things that you kind of want to think about, and you need to have a baseline for what 80-20 means. So if you have a baseline for that and you know what that looks like, and you're able to show up and do that consistently, whatever that means for you each month, then sure, yeah, 80-20 is a great approach, because you can still live life, you can still go to brunch with your girlfriends, you can still go on vacation and eat yummy foods, you can still eat on the go, you can still go to fast food restaurants, you can still go to regular restaurants and live your life and enjoy yourself. We're just coming off of the end of summer, right? We only have like a couple more weeks left of summer. So a lot of people had barbecues and summer events, vacations, all of that. So you should be able to still enjoy yourself and do those things, as well as prioritize your health and fitness goals. And so the 80-20 rule will definitely help you to do that. But it is important that you understand for yourself, like, okay, what does the 80% mean? What does that 20% mean? And what's my baseline? So what's something that I'm doing 80% of the time that's going to help me to maintain those results? So that was a great question. I hope that that is clear. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And if you guys would like me to talk a little bit more about what that 80% can look like for you and how to like incorporate that in your day-to-day, let me know that as well in the comments. All right, so what's up, CV Alliance? Question is, can I ever make my legs feel equal? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. If you want to clarify, feel free to add a little bit more context in the comments. But if I had to guess, what I think you're probably asking is, you know, maybe you might have one dominant leg that's a little bit bigger than the other. And so how can you make both of your legs look more symmetrical muscle-wise? I think that might be what you're potentially getting at. If that is, then let me know. But yeah, if you can just drop a little bit more clarity if you're here. Okay, yes, that's what you're talking about. So when it comes to that, I think it really just depends on like how extreme the difference is and, you know, what exactly you mean when you want symmetry between the two, because most people, they're going to have a little bit of a difference in one side of their body versus the other side. Like one leg is a little bit bigger than one, or I have one leg that's a little bit bigger than the other. The same goes for my upper body. So that kind of depends on like how much symmetry you're trying to create. I will say that if you are following a structured plan with your workouts and you're including a workout routine every single week, every single month that's geared towards, you know, strengthening and growing your muscles in your lower body, then that will definitely help with that. But outside of that, you know, that really just comes from a consistent, structured fitness plan. Your diet can also help with that, because if you are, you know, working out consistently and you're following a structured plan with your diet and you're getting like quality protein in your diet, things like that, that can also help too, as far as, you know, making sure that you have enough muscle for that. So dairy, what do you mean by dairy? Feel free to expand a little bit more on the dairy question. But yeah, if you're focusing more on having a structured plan where you're working your lower body muscles each week consistently, and then you're also making sure you're eating adequate amounts of protein with each meal, a palm size at each meal is great, as well as 30 grams if you're able to track that. Yeah, that will really help you to add a little bit more. Oh, dairy for protein, is that what you're asking? Dairy for protein? If it's dairy for protein, yeah, that's great. If you can tolerate it, by all means, you can get a lot of protein from Greek yogurt. You can get protein from cheese. So there are a few options that you can use. I would say like low fat options tend to be a little bit higher in protein, a little bit lower in calories. So those are great options. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Some people will use dairy as their source of protein and instead of protein powders and stuff like that. So it can be a great source of protein. So hope that helps. Hey, cutie pie caramel, what's going on? Feel free to drop any questions that you guys have in the comments. We just talked about the 80-20 rule, and we also got a really great question about how to add more symmetry to different parts of your body. So yeah, keep dropping them below. I have another question here. Any advice on how to stay healthy when eating out so we don't lose progress? This is great advice, or this is a great question, I should say. So when it comes to eating out, eating on the go without losing progress, I kind of have two methods here that I like to follow for this and that I like to teach clients that I work with. So, number one, when it comes to staying on progress with your goals, if you're eating out, I think it's really important for you to first know and give yourself the permission to eat out, to eat on the go, to eat outside of your meal plan. Period, point blank. Because when a lot of people try to lose weight, women specifically, we get really hyper focused in trying to be perfect, right? And follow this super perfect meal plan to the T. And if we deviate from that for one moment or for one meal or even a couple of meals, we start to beat down on ourselves, right? We start to feel really guilty and we're like, oh, I messed up. And then we're like, okay, well, screw it then I'll just completely fall off with my diet for the rest of the week. And that's not really the best mindset to have, right? So go into whatever diet, whatever plan with the intention of, hey, I'm going to eat out. I'm going to go to restaurants. I'm going to go have brunch with my girls. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go eat with my significant other, with my family, etc. So you're not going to beat yourself up when that happens, okay? That's number one. Change that mindset from I have to be super perfect and I'm going to fall off of my plan and I'm going to lose progress if I eat out and I deviate from my, no. We're fitting that into the plan, okay? So number one, change your mindset around it, okay? Now, from there, another thing that I would do is plan as much as you can around outings. So what I mean by that is if you know that you're going to go out to dinner or you're going to have drinks or you're going to be on vacation, really think of, all right, if I am going to indulge and enjoy myself aside from my normal plan, what are other things that I can do within my plan that are still going to help me to stay on target? So one thing that I love to do, like if I'm on vacations, I love to try to walk as much as I possibly can everywhere. So I just know for me, if I'm going on vacation and I know that I'm going to be eating a lot of yummy foods and I'm not really going to be able to stick to a specific meal plan or a diet plan, I'm getting my steps in. I am hitting the streets. I am walking as much as I possibly can just to maintain activity and movement. And that's something that I do regularly, even, when I'm not on vacation. So I just plan that. I know that, all right, I'm going to go out to eat, definitely move. And especially when you're, eating a lot of yummy foods out and about, walking is really great to help with digestion too. So if you're able to increase your steps, as for an example, like that's just one thing that you can do to have some type of action going on to help you to continue to make progress and also just help remind you like, okay, this is a habit that you're building so that you're less likely to deviate from your total plan. Because what usually happens is when people deviate a little bit from their plan, then they just stop doing all of the things that they were doing. They stop working out, they stop moving their bodies, they stop getting quality sleep, they stop drinking water, like all of the things that they were doing, they just stop it because they had to deviate from one small part of their plan. So if you can still keep up other habits as you're eating out, as you are on the go, that is going to help you to just stay in that mindset, to stay in the habit and the action of doing those other things. And that just makes it a little bit easier for you to come back to your normal meal plan, your normal diet plan. Okay. So that's number two. So first, we got to change our mindset around it. Include eating out as a part of your plan. Don't beat yourself up when it happens. Just say it's going to happen. So this is what it is. Now, if this is what it is, let's plan around it. So if I am going to go out to eat, what are other healthy habits that I'm consistently doing that I can keep up with to just help me to stay on target and to help me to continue that momentum so that I don't completely stop everything that I'm doing? So can that be movement? If you are going to eat out that day, can you get your workout done earlier that day? Maybe you drink a lot more water during the day. If you're having drinks at night, maybe you're not drinking anything else like sodas and juices earlier in the day, right? So you figure out for you, what are those other healthy habits that I can keep up with throughout the day, throughout that time that you're going to be deviating from your meal plan, to make it a little bit easier for you to just hop back into it once you're done. Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 3, I like to use this little formula when I go out to restaurants or when I eat. This is not something that I do all the time. It's not perfect, but when I'm going out to eat at restaurants, this is something that a little formula that just helps me to still be able to enjoy eating out, but also I still feel like I'm kind of keeping up with my normal everyday meal plan. So first is hydrate before you drink anything else. Okay. I think, what did I say? It's hydrate before you plate. No, that's what it is. So hydrate before the plate. So that means before appetizers, before your main meal, before anything else, drink water. All right. I know it's very tempting and easy to just go straight for chips or the bread and stuff like that, but drink 2 glasses of water before you eat anything at the table. And I just make that my first rule of thumb, or it's like kind of like my first, the first thing that I like to do when I'm at a restaurant. So hydrate before the plate. That's going to help to fill me up. So also it's going to just help me to stay hydrated. So I'm a little less likely to overeat because I'm in the US and portion sizes here are pretty wild. And I just, tend to overeat if I'm just so focused on like trying to have appetizers and stuff first before like hydrating and filling my belly up with a little bit of water. So that's number 1 that I like to do. Then if I can, if it makes sense, if it's available, if it's an option, if I'm able to, if I feel like it, I will try to order something that has a source of protein and a source of veggies. Okay. So that's number 2. Again, it's not perfect, but I do try to stick to that when I can. Third thing that I do is once my food gets to the table, immediately half of it goes into a to-go box. Because again, the portion sizes here in the US for a lot of restaurants are really big. And oftentimes the portions that you get in one meal at a restaurant, you could eat those for like 2 to 3 meals. So I always put half of it away, unless it's like a lot of veggies or a salad or something like that, something that's not super hearty. Always put half of it away. So number 1, hydrate before the plate, drink water. Number 2, try to order something with some protein and veggies. Protein is going to help keep you full. Veggies is important for fiber, for nutrients. It also helps to keep you fuller for longer. And then after that, I plate everything. I plate half of my meal in a to-go box, saving it for later. So I'm just focusing on eating a smaller portion. I'm focused on engaging in conversation or fellowshipping with whomever I'm with. That's what I'm focused on, okay? And then lastly, I always like to take a little bit of a walk after I eat. So it can be quick. It can be like 5-10 minutes, but usually like a 10 to 20 minute walk after you eat at a restaurant. Again, it helps with digestion, helps with balancing out your blood sugar levels. So you'll feel a little less sleepy or tired after you eat a meal. And that, because one of the things that happens is after a meal from a restaurant, especially if it's a heavier meal, you might feel a bit more sluggish. You might have an energy crash. And then your body might say, okay, well, let me eat something sweet or let me eat some more food to get my energy back up. And that can kind of start a cycle of, okay, I was just eating, a piece of chicken and some veggies and a couple fries. And now I've gone through ice cream, some Pop-Tarts, a bag of chips, and 3 sodas, so you end up kind of eating a little bit more than you intended just because you had that one meal at a restaurant. So all of those things together really help me to not do that. Okay. So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but to kind of wrap it up. So if you're eating out, you're eating on the go, number 1, it's important to change your mindset around this. Stop beating up on yourself. If it happens, when it happens, it's going to happen, right? You're going to live life. You're going to go to a restaurant. You're going to go to a concert. You're going to go to a birthday dinner. You're going to go to holidays are coming up. We're going to be going out. We're going to be eating at other places outside of our meal plan. It's okay. Plan for it. Don't beat yourself up. So change your mindset around that. Number 2, plan for it. If we know it's going to happen, let's just prepare a little bit. Can we walk a little bit more that day? Can we get our workout done? Can we drink more water? Can we make some swaps earlier in the day before we go? You have so much power. You can still enjoy eating out. You can still enjoy holidays and brunch and events and things like that. Just figure out how to make it work for you, okay? But pick one habit that you can keep up with consistently so that it doesn't always feel like this huge uphill battle just to get back on track. All right, so then if you are going to go eat at a restaurant, my little formula: hydrate before the plate. So you're going to drink some water before you eat anything, appetizers included. From there, try as best as you can to get some source of protein or veggies. If you're not able to, don't worry about it. But that's just a way to help you stay a little bit fuller and then also make sure you're getting some nutrients in your system for the day. And then from there, half of my plate goes into a to-go container because the portions are going to be big. So I just know, hey, I can probably eat this in another meal. I can probably get 2-3 more meals out of this. So I just put half away and enjoy the portion that is in front of me. And then lastly, I'll walk around and get a little bit of movement in after I eat to help with digestion, to help keep me from having that energy crash after I eat that yummy food. And all of that too is going to help to keep me from like eating a whole bunch of extra food separate from that meal later on. Okay. So that's what I like to do. I hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. And hey, y'all, for those of you who are coming in, what is up? We are here sipping and chatting. And we're answering questions. So if you have any questions about your fitness journey, about weight loss, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will try as best as I can to answer them. Also, I'm thinking about doing these more regularly, but I want to still have fun with it because you know me, I'm all about the fun. So what do you guys think? Should we do like a meal prep in chat? My idea was you can sign up and I can send you a recipe, like a meal prep recipe beforehand. And then we all meal prep it together. And then I would do a Q&A during the meal prep. So I can still answer questions. Or I was thinking of doing like a walk-in chat where like we try to get our steps in together while I'm answering questions. I don't know. If you guys have ideas, feel free to drop them below, or we can just keep it simple like this, you know, a sip and chat. But yeah, I definitely want to make sure that I'm hopping on and, you know, answering questions that I can't get to in my regular YouTube videos. So if you have any other fun, cute ideas, feel free to drop the suggestions. All right, so back to Q&A. What's up, Milan? What's up, Ara? Hey, Ashley, I just finished one of your 30-minute workouts. Haven't worked out in a week, so should I do longer workout to get my energy back up? This is a great question. So when you've taken a break from working out and you're like, okay, I want to get back into a regular routine, people always think that they need to work out for longer. In fact, people always just think that they need to work out for longer in general. And that's not necessarily the case. It really goes back to what are my goals? So if you haven't worked out in a while, you're trying to get your energy back up, you're trying to get back into a consistent routine, I think that it's really important for you to just start simple and to make showing up as much of a no-brainer for you as possible. And so for me, that looks like shorter workouts. And honestly, your workouts don't need to be super long in order for them to be effective. That's a common misconception that a lot of women have is, okay, well, the longer the workout is, that means the better it's going to be, the more results I'm going to see. That's not the case, because with a lot of the shorter workouts, because they are shorter, they're more potent, they're more to the point. You kind of just have to get in, get that work done, and get out of there. Whereas with the longer ones, there's a little bit more room for you to like coast, take longer breaks, and it just might cause you to sort of lose a little bit of that potent energy than if you were to do a shorter, more condensed workout. So I think it's perfectly fine for you to keep up with the 30-minute workouts. It obviously depends on what your goals are. So if you're like, okay, I just want to kind of get back into movement, walks are great. I love doing, like right now inside of my membership club that I have, it's the Dance for Chicks membership club that I have for anyone who wants to just take their fitness goals to the next level using dance workouts and fun fitness. But inside of the membership club, each month we have a new challenge. And so the challenge for this month is Step Timber. Get it? Get it? And so for September, we're increasing our overall step count for the month. And for this month, we're doing a little bit more like walking workouts. And we're doing what I like to call pretty girl walks, right? There's hot girl walks. I like to call them pretty girl walks. So for pretty girl walks, 20 to 30 minutes, in and out, boom, we're good. Because if you think about it, if you're stressing yourself out about trying to work longer, but then you're missing days because you can't commit to longer workouts, you would have seen more progress and you would have gotten more workouts done if you had just made the workout shorter and stayed consistent with the shorter workouts, right? Does that make sense? So if you're trying to do longer workouts, but you're only doing them, you're inconsistent with the longer workouts, you'll see more results and you'll have just more, you'll feel better overall if you stay consistent with the shorter workouts. So you can do walks. You can do the 30-minute dance workouts that I have a few of those on this channel. You can stretch. I also recommend you get some strength workouts in there as well, if you can, if that's a part of your goal. So it's really up to you. It really depends on what your specific goals are, Ara. But yeah, I think 30 minutes are great. And you'll start to feel the energy come back too. When it comes to energy, the workouts are important, but your diet also helps too, as well as sleep. So if you're working out for 30 minutes a day, but you're only getting like 3 hours of sleep a night, a workout isn't really going to help with your energy that much. You know what I mean? So there are just some other things that you can look at energy-wise too that will help. So again, you don't need to do longer workouts. It's just, okay, I'll do my 30-minute workouts. I'll get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And, I'll just try to make sure I'm eating vegetables, protein in my meals so that I'm not getting those energy crashes throughout the day. Those are things that all of those will help with your overall energy, but 30-minute workouts, really, really great place to start. I hope that helps you. All right. Cutie Pie says, that's fabulous advice. Thank you. Drinking water definitely helps fill me up faster when I eat. Yep. Getting it to go box when my food comes and walking right after eating is ingenious. It's so simple, right? I think sometimes, y'all, and I'll be honest, I've been guilty of this myself. We like to overcomplicate things. We like to make things a lot harder than they need to be, when in actuality, a lot of stuff, it is super simple. It's those super simple things that add up over time and that make the biggest difference, and that make it a lifestyle change, right? So what I told you guys about my little method of going in, that's something that I do pretty much every single time I go to a restaurant. And I've been out to birthday celebrations. We just had Labor Day holiday. Like, I do this all the time. And it now just becomes, oh, this is my natural, normal, and no one comments on it. It's not a big deal. It's just a part of my habit. It's a part of my routine. I don't have to make a big thing of it. There isn't this huge leap for me to get back on track. No, it's just, this is what I do when I go out to eat, because I know that I'm going out to eat. And then I go back to my regularly scheduled programming. So keep it simple. It is those small things that add up over time that make a big difference. And you want to make sure that you're doing things that you can keep up with consistently for life, right? If you can't make it something that you can keep up with for longer than a 30-day challenge or 75-day challenge, then it's time to start really assessing whether or not that is for you, okay? So glad that helped with you. Okay, what's up, Diana? Hey, Ashley. Starting my workout journey for the 100th time. I understand, been there. How do you stay motivated without getting into a toxic mindset? I've always had a hard time balancing fitness and being healthy about it. I love this question, but Diana, if you are able to, I'd love for you to share what you mean by toxic mindset. So what is the toxic part that's coming up for you? Is it toxic as far as not wanting to do extreme things to get in shape? Is it toxic meaning because you have tried so many times to get in shape or to reach your goals, now you feel a little bit jaded or a little bit like, I don't know if this is going to work for me, a little skeptical? Can you kind of just get a little bit more specific on what you mean by toxic? So I want to make sure that I give you the best answer. But yeah, when it comes to balancing fitness and being healthy about it, it goes back to what I was just saying, is you really have to start moving towards doing things that are sustainable and that are going to fit into your lifestyle. right? And of course, your lifestyle is going to change, right? So I don't mean that means, oh, you can just eat whatever you want. You can do all of the things that you were doing before you lost the weight or before you started your fitness journey and you'll be good. No, there is a level of you having to change your lifestyle and you having to change who you are mentally so that you can start to see the physical results of that. But, think about for your lifestyle, what is going to make sense. If you know that you're somebody who travels a lot for work, for example, and trying to do hour-long workouts every single day, that's not going to make sense for your lifestyle. Okay, so that's something that you need to adjust. If it's not sustainable, if it's not something that you can keep up with long-term, if it's not something that you like or are interested in doing long-term, then start moving away from that. That's one of the best ways that you can go about balancing fitness and feeling healthy about it, letting go of extremes, letting go of doing things that you think you need to do in order to see results, and start figuring out, okay, what actually makes sense for where I'm at in life, and then what are some of the simple shifts that I can start to make to sort of meet me where I'm at. That's really a big piece of it. And then, so yeah, if you're still there, feel free to give me a little bit more clarity. But in terms of staying motivated in your fitness routine, like motivation is huge. And there are definitely things that I can share about, okay, here's how to get motivated to work out or, meal prep and do those things. There are definitely things that you can do to kind of help give you that spark of inspiration or to help push you to move. But ultimately, motivation has to be a decision, right? You have to decide that your goals are important. You have to decide that you're going to be the woman that shows up for herself, and you have to decide to take action like that version of you that has already reached your goals, right? That's really what it is. It's the motivation really comes from you making a decision, a mindset shift, and in a lot of ways, an identity shift. You have to be somebody that says, hey, I no longer identify as somebody who doesn't prioritize their health and their wellness goals. I no longer identify as somebody who doesn't care about taking care of themselves and taking care of their health. I no longer identify as somebody who is going to make 1,001 excuses as to why they can't work out today when I know that I can, right? So really, when it comes to motivation, when it comes to balancing, it really has to be a marriage of figuring out what is going to make sense for where you're at right now, what's going to be healthy and sustainable, something that you can keep up with long term, what's going to be fun for you, right? Because in my opinion, if we're not having fun, what's the friggin' point? And then also, what shifts do you need to make mentally or internally to start showing up as the person who reaches these goals, right? What do you need to let go of? If you feel like you're somebody who does have a toxic mindset, or you're skeptical, or you're jaded because you've tried a lot of things and things haven't worked, maybe that's where you need to start. Maybe you need to start saying, okay, I no longer identify as somebody who is going to believe that this can't work for me. I'm going to believe that it will work for me, and I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the very best that I can to start working towards these goals, right? Maybe that shift is, I no longer identify as somebody who is going to order DoorDash every single night at 11 o'clock instead of going to bed and eating her meal prep each day, right? Because I know that I have goals and I know that my health and my nutrition is important to me. That's what I'm going to do, right? Maybe it's you saying, I no longer identify as somebody who's going to make a bunch of excuses and not show up and get her workouts done, right? Unless it's something that I absolutely need to take a break from. So it's a marriage of those three things. It's figuring out what's fun, figuring out what's going to be healthy and sustainable, but also figuring out where do you need to shift mentally and internally. And that is where the motivation comes from. Motivation really does come from you taking action, seeing that momentum, seeing the changes, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, energy-wise. And then you're like, okay, it's working. I'm making progress, and that is what helps to motivate you to keep going. Okay, so hope that helps, Diana, but if you want to give me a little bit more clarity, if you're still here, then feel free to drop it in the comments. All right. Okay, NoyDB. I think the biggest issue is getting overwhelmed at work, skipping meals, and then eating too much later. I'm trying to find things quick and easy that I can put together at work. Yeah, so a lot of that is going to come with some prep, right? So if you know that you're getting overwhelmed at work, so trying to make healthy decisions while you're at work is really challenging for you, or you know that because you're overwhelmed and you don't have something prepped and ready right in front of you, you're skipping meals. And because you're skipping meals, you're getting super hungry later on. That is important to note. That's a pattern that's really important for you to note. And so, okay, let's plan and prepare around that. So if you know that once you get to work, stuff is just grooving and moving, you don't really have a whole lot of time, or you know that if you don't take a break and just have that meal that's prepared right in front of you, that you're going to skip meals and you're going to overeat later. So it's really important to have stuff prepped ahead of time. Every single morning, I have kind of like a magic morning routine is what I like to call it. And it's basically just 3 things that I do each morning to help set me up for success for the day, specifically when it comes to my overall health and wellness. Let me know if you guys want me to talk more about that or do like a video on that. But essentially what that looks like is first thing in the morning, I always start with my form of motivation, which is just listening to really high vibe, encouraging music, listening to an encouraging podcast, something that lifts my spirits. Then it's getting some type of movement in, whether that is a pretty girl walk, whether that's a dance workout, just doing something to give my body some movement for the day. And then it's meal prep. So I spend like 5-10 minutes before I start my day figuring out, what am I eating today? Is there something that I can prep in advance so that it's going to be easier for me to just grab it and go? So for you, NoyDB, I would recommend in the morning times. I'm not sure what your work schedule is like, but if you have time before you actually start your day, before you start work, what are some of those things that you can prep? And when you're going to the grocery store, figure out what are some of those easy, quick, grab and go options. You can get cooked chicken if you eat chicken, tuna packets. Also, again, if you eat fish, pre-chopped veggies, pre-chopped fruit, right? There's just a lot of things that you can grab and have ready to go. So while you're at work, it's just easier for you to pull out the container, pull out your meal prep, and eat it and go. Because you know that if you don't have that prepped and ready to go beforehand, you're going to be more likely to overeat later. So it is really important and helpful for you to have a plan beforehand. Know, okay, this is where I usually get tripped up. So let me make sure that I have something that I can do to help me address this. And then you go from there. And then you actually eat the prep so that you're less likely to hit that Chick-fil-A drive-through or hit that fast food drive-through when you know that you've got meal prep at home, or overeat, when you've already eaten for the day. So I hope that helps. All right. So yes, Cutie Pie Caramel said it would be very cool to see a video of you doing your morning routine or in the day in the life as a fitness trainer. Okay, yeah. So I've been actually kind of wanting to do some more vlogs. I've done a couple on my channel. So if you guys would be interested into seeing like the morning routine to help set you up for success in your fitness and your wellness journey, let me know in the comment section. Cutie Pie says, I'd love to see that, but give me either some hearts or some thumbs ups or some yeses in the comments if you guys would like to see more of that on my channel. And I'll definitely make sure to add that. All right, and we are still running live. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them below. I have a couple more questions here, and I can answer any other that come in the comment section. And also give me a thumbs up in the comments, or let me know if you guys would like to see a morning routine to set you up for success in your fitness and weight loss journey, or like a day in the life. All right. Okay. Do I think resistance weight training twice a week is enough? So it really depends on what you mean by enough. Thank you, NoyDB. Definitely interested in that as well. Okay, appreciate that feedback. So yeah, it definitely depends on what you mean by enough. Because again, this is going to go back to your individual goals. So what does enough mean? Like, what is your overall goal? Is your overall goal just to stay consistent with your fitness routine? Is your overall goal weight loss? Is your overall goal to maintain your weight? A lot of people kind of have different goals within that. So figure out what does enough mean. Now, if you're specifically talking about weight loss, your workouts really should be a complement to your nutrition, right? So you can work out consistently and do all of the workouts. But if you don't have a nutrition plan that is complementing your workouts and that has weight loss in mind, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you to see weight loss progress. So you don't want to put all of your eggs in the workout for weight loss basket, so to speak. So in terms of enough, I would definitely say prioritize working out using strength workouts or some type of resistance training at least a couple of times a week. But it is going to vary based on your specific goals. Because again, everybody isn't trying to work the same muscle groups. Everybody doesn't have the same goals in mind. But overall, it is important to note that strength training, resistance training is important for your overall health and well-being. And it does definitely play a role in weight loss, but your nutrition plays a bigger role. So if you're not prioritizing that, it's going to be a lot harder for you to see results long-term, okay? Hope that makes sense. All right, any advice on workout hair care? I'm a curly girl, but when I wear it straight, I'm wondering if there's more I can do to keep it from reverting. Great question. So I actually do have a video on my channel where I do like some natural workout friendly hairstyles for natural curly girls. So definitely check that out. But it is going to depend on, the state of your curls and like how you're wearing your curls. Because some people, they have like one style that they're wearing every single week. And so they're trying to do what they can to maintain that style while they're working out. But I really like using loose ponytails and just kind of putting my hair up in a loose pony. I've also used loose scarves in the back. So just kind of putting a loose scarf over like a curly twist out and getting my workout done in that way. I also might do some loose braids as well to kind of try to keep my curls. Yeah, it really depends. I know some people will put like headbands on to help with their edges, things of that nature. But it really does kind of depend on like what the curly style is. But I do have a video on my channel with some ideas, options. So feel free to check that out. And please, this is especially for my natural ladies, do not let hair be the reason why you don't work out. We really got to let go of that, this idea that, oh, I can't work out because I just got my hair done. Like your health and your overall well-being, I feel like it definitely ranks higher in importance. I totally understand wanting to make sure that your hair looks nice and presentable and like wanting to have certain styles. But yeah, just figure out a simple way for it to work for you and keep it pushing. Because I would much rather you risk, messing up your hairstyle if it means that you are focused on consistently working out and giving that love to your body. Cutie Pie says, I definitely work out even when my hair is professionally done. I have to. And look, I get it, especially if you are pressing your hair, you're getting like a blowout or something. I know that sweat can interrupt that. But you just kind of have to figure out like what your flow is. And then also too, if you are going to a professional stylist, maybe ask them what are some things that you can do as well, because they might also have some products or they might even be able to do your hair in a specific way to where it helps to preserve some of the style, like after you've gotten it done. So don't be afraid to ask your stylist, ladies. Hit up the stylist and say, hey, I work out regularly, but I still want to make sure I get my hair done. Like, what are some things that I can do to protect my edges and maintain the style for as long as possible. And they might give you some even better ideas, or they might even be able to prep your hair a little bit better. All right. What's up, Coach Martin? All right, Karolika, do I have any dance workout with booty bands? Great question. So I actually do have a bands and dance workout on my channel. I can't remember exactly when I posted it, but it is there. So if you type it in, you should be able to find it in the search. Now, here's my thing. With the bands and dance workout, I am very intentional about how I craft that workout. So I'm not having you do high energy cardio moves with the band on because it's just not safe, in my opinion. Very easy for you to trip and fall and hurt yourself. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're not on that energy here. So when you are using bands, and you'll see when I do the workout, I do separate the movements so that when we're using the bands, it's more slow and controlled movements because the bands are really there as a form of resistance to help you to target your muscles. You can use them as a way to get some cardio in, to increase your heart rate, but that's not really the intent that I have when I'm using them. I'm using them more so as a way to help target your muscles. So with that, you want slower, controlled movements. And so just be careful if you are using bands with dance workouts, especially if it's bands that you're using around your ankles or your legs, because it can be a little bit easier for you to trip and fall and hurt yourself, and you want to avoid injury as much as possible. So those are helpful, but my recommendation is if you are using bands, really do try to separate your bands workout or exercises from high energy, intense cardio movements, especially if you are not really that advanced in fitness or don't have that coordination, just because it can be a little bit easier for you to hurt yourself. But great question. All right, Cutie Pie, thank you for your questions. Do you think standing ab workouts are effective as floor routines? This is a great question. I think they can be. So here's the way that I want to answer this question, right? Because your abs are a part of your core. Your core, and I know people like to use the word ab and core interchangeably. I know I definitely have at some point. But your core is really, it's the middle of your body, right? So it's not just your abs, but it's also your obliques, your sides here, as well as your back too, right? And so your core pretty much is your stabilizer. It's what helps you to stand up straight. It's what helps you to bend down and lift things up. It's what helps you to do ab exercises. So when you're talking about strengthening your core, there are a lot of great standing exercises that can help you to do that, right? Because you do have to use your core to do pretty much anything. To squat down, you've got to use your core to bend over. You've got to use your core to hold yourself up, especially if you're doing floor exercises. So your core really does play a role in both working out while you stand up and working out while you're on the floor, all right? Now for ab exercises specifically, standing ab exercises can definitely be effective, but I think that like a lot of workouts, as you progress over time and the more that you continue to, do certain workouts, you might need to add a little bit more resistance. And one of the easiest ways that you can do that with ab work is by getting on the floor, because then now you have to hold your body up to do certain exercises. That adds a little bit extra resistance. You're adding more of your body weight into the mix. That can add a little bit extra resistance and make it a bit more challenging. And so just doing stuff on the floor just requires you to use more of your body weight. And that can, in theory, make it more effective, but just more effective meaning it's just easier for you to progress and make the workout more challenging. Yeah. But standing ab exercises can definitely be effective. Now, what I will say is, doing ab exercises while you're standing or on the floor does not mean you're going to have six-pack abs, right? Your nutrition also plays a huge part in that. So if you are doing ab exercises or ab workouts or core exercises, core workouts, but you're not prioritizing your nutrition, it's going to be really hard to see the abs underneath, right? We all have them, but we have to make sure that we're able to see them by just removing the layers of body fat that is on top of them. So make sure that you are also complementing your ab exercises, whether they're standing or on the floor, with a nutrition plan that's going to help you to see them more visibly. Okay. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. I hope that answers your question. Carolika, you are so welcome. Okay. All right. I think those were the main questions that I got. Let me see if there were any more that popped up. And if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to drop them in the chit chat. And yeah, what are we thinking, folks? We want to do a meal prep and chat. Do we want to keep doing just like a sip and chat where it's a little bit more casual? What are we thinking? I'd love to get your thoughts and ideas and suggestions, because I do like doing the Q&As. I can definitely hop on here, just make it a little more informal. But, if we can also do something, if y'all can get involved and participate and get something done too, I think that would be dope too. All right. Cutie Pie, I like the meal prep and chat. That might be it. I might have to do a poll on the YouTube, our YouTube community post page to see, but I like that idea too. All right, NoyDB, just out of curiosity, I noticed you did a workout to a Blackpink song. Any plans to do more K-pop songs? I've been looking for Stray Kid routines, but none that I found that are as enjoyable as yours. Great question. So I actually do have a K-pop workout that I did, again, inside of my membership club. A lot of the content that I have inside of my membership club, one of the reasons why I created it is because, unfortunately, I am limited sometimes with the music that I can post on YouTube. And a lot of you, if you've been rocking with me for a while, you've experienced my content being blocked and taken down off of YouTube because of the music. So another reason that I have my membership, and one of the benefits of it, is members get access to everything, all of my content, the full length content, without ads, without commercial interruptions, without the fear of content being blocked or taken down. So I do have a longer K-pop workout inside my membership. I'd be open to making more. I like Blackpink. Obviously, like, why am I blanking on the? What's the guy K-pop group that everybody knows and loves? BTS, yes, thank you. I obviously like BTS, and I've done a few I've done a few routines to their songs as well. But maybe I just need more K-pop workout inspo. I'll be honest, it doesn't pop up a lot on my suggested songs. So if you guys have other song suggestions, feel free to share. But it is something where, I can't always fully promise that I can post it, just because I don't know. I don't always know in advance, like, what will YouTube keep up on my page and what will they take down. And then I have some videos that I've had up for years, and then just recently YouTube said, nope, blocked. The hour-long workout that I get a lot of questions about, like, where is this workout? It's blocked, y'all. It is blocked. YouTube blocked it, even though it was up for years, not bothering anybody. So let me stop talking, because maybe the YouTube guys can hear. But yeah, all of that to say that, if you have other suggestions for songs, always feel free to comment them in my comment section and let me know. And I'll try to keep an eye out on stuff that I feel like inspires me, stuff that I would feel like I could dance to. Okay. Yep, you had a fabulous Wakanda workout that disappeared. And it was incredibly fun. I did it many times. Oh, and see, this is it too. Sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, you had this great workout and it's blocked. And I will not even know that it's blocked, because I'm not checking the workouts every single day to see if they're still on YouTube. Did the Wakanda one get taken down? I'll have to check that later, but did not know that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, so it's one of those things I don't have control over, and it can literally happen. Like, it'd be one thing if I just uploaded it and then, okay, YouTube's like, nope, taken down immediately. But a lot of stuff will happen years after it's been up, or a long amount of time after it's been up. So there's really no way for me to know whether or not something is going to stick. So yeah, definitely let me know if you're interested in more info on the membership club, because for sure that has been one of the biggest saving graces, is I'm able to still share my content with people off of YouTube. All right, highly recommend Stray Kids. They're really upbeat, good for workouts. I don't know about YouTube though. I will look them up. Thank you for that suggestion, Stray Kids. I'm actually going to write a note so that I can look that up later. Thank you for the suggestions, Karolika. Some 90s hits. Feel free to let me know some suggestions. I have, I think, a couple of 90s workouts, or should, on my channel, because I did a great collab with another YouTuber, and we did like a 90s collab. So definitely think I still have some videos up. All right, folks, we're almost at the hour. Are there any other questions? These are some great questions, y'all. I appreciate you jumping into the live and being so thoughtful about your questions. This was dope. And yeah, let's definitely try to do a meal prep and chat. And who was it that said that? Noi DB, feeling overwhelmed, trying to eat a little bit better, but needs things that are quick and easy that you can put together. So if we do a meal prep and chat, we can definitely do recipes quicker, easier to put together, but that are also going to keep you full for longer, so that you're not grabbing for that bag of Doritos 5 minutes later. Yeah, there's a lot of recipes I'm like, okay, this was cute, but I'm going to be hungry after this, like very soon after this. So we can keep the kind of meal preps around that, something that you can make quickly, but that's going to also keep you fuller for longer. Sounds good. Cutie Pie Caramel, you are so welcome. Okay, y'all. Well, if there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and end it out here. I definitely want to do another one of these chats later on this month, so I'll make sure to schedule it in more advance notice. And then, yeah, if we'll do a meal prep and chat, and I'll think of a recipe that I can send out to y'all. So if you want, you can grab the ingredients and then prep it with me, and then we'll answer questions that way. Karolika, maybe you can list some ingredients that you're going to cook. Yep, you took the words right out of my mouth. So I would definitely give y'all some ideas and we can keep it simple too. It can be like a meal prep for dinner or breakfast or something like that, just so you have something very simple to follow. Give y'all the ingredients, and then you guys can cook it with me. And then we can do a Q&A either on that recipe or just general Q&A. Sounds good. Sounds good. You are so welcome, NoiDB. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And if you have any other additional questions from watching this live, still feel free to drop them in the comment section, and I can either add them to the next Q&A or I can try to answer them for you in the comments, okay? Have the most amazing day ever. Stay safe, stay cool or warm, depending on where you're at. And I'll see y'all in the next stream. Take care, y'all. Bye.